Okay, so right before we get started, you're going to have to need your parents' legal name, date of birth, social security number, place of employment, their salary, and their approximate net worth. Also with some of your information such as your date of birth and your social security number as well. So I just want to put it out there that I'm not a professional at all. This is what I learned from setting up my custodial account last August, and this is what I use. I can't tell you any investment advice or anything like that because I honestly don't know much more than you do. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in ETRADE.com on the little URL search list up there. And it's going to take you to a home page like this, and all you're going to do is look in the top right hand corner, and there should be a button that says open an account. It should be all purple and all that. And so right here, there's like a little home page for when you first get started, and there's the different brokerage accounts right there, and there's individual and some other stuff, and you can just click on custodial under the brokerage tabs. Under the side there, it's going to tell you that this is for an account if you're under 18, and you can click underneath there, the little blue link, and it's going to take you to a page that gives you more detailed information about what it is. So you can hit continue, and then you're going to pull up to the second page. It's the custodian account holder information. So it's like your parent or your guardian, and they're going to put in their basic information through here. It's like name, address, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to fast forward through the video. I'm going to put in some random information there to get through the process. So this is the third tab. It's going to pull up. It's going to ask you more information about the custodian, which is your parent or your guardian. It's going to ask like date of birth, social security number for them, their marital status, occupation, their liquid net worth, and some other finance stuff. So underneath here, it's going to ask you to check 4 boxes if they apply to you, which you shouldn't have to check any of them unless you own 10% of a publicly owned company, which is a lot, and you're probably super wealthy and everything. But here, it's going to ask you for minor account information, and this is where you're going to have to put in your first name, last name, phone number, residential address, your zip code, and your city, and all that kind of stuff. So in the last tab here, it's going to ask you for your date of birth and your social security number, and this is of the minor, so this is basically you if you're under 17. And so you just have to put in the information here. I just put in some random information, just get through the process real quick. So the next tab is going to ask you about create your investment profile. So the first tab is what is your investment experience. I'm just going to put none for the top. And it says what is your account investment objective. So I'm going to put growth there. That's a good way to show that you're just planning to grow your account. And where's your assets funds from this account coming from? Personal funds, because it's just going to come from your bank account. You can set that up that way. And how do you primarily plan to use this account? And it's going to be investment account with transfers for expenses. What is your options investment knowledge? I'm just going to put none. I honestly have no clue what options are, to be honest with you. And so indicate your prior options trading. I'm just going to put none because I don't know anything about that. And specify your prior security type trading. I've had about 2 years of experience through paper trading and through like regular trading through E-Trade. And so I'm just going to put 25 to 74 trades per year. Probably do a little bit more than that. But options, I have no clue what that is, so I'm just going to put 0 on there. Futures, I do look at futures a lot, but I don't trade any of those. And bonds, I'm going to put 0. Yeah, let me just put, I'm going to put 75 plus. There we go. And I'm just going to continue on. So we're almost done. So it says you're almost here. For the first tab, it said uninvested cash program. So it's at the end of each business day, your uninvested cash will automatically swipe into an interest-bearing vehicle. And so you can set that up. So options for invested cash, I would just put cash balance program. So you just have your cash in there and it's not really doing anything. It's a lot safer that way. Power of attorney, I would not check that box at all. Trusted contact person, add a trusted contact person. No, I wouldn't do that. Access your money, an initial minimum deposit of $1,000. I wouldn't even put that, to be honest with you. Even though you can get a free E-Trade or debit card, a free E-Trade checkbook. So I have no clue on any of that stuff. So I'm just setting my basic account on here. And so electronic delivery has some of the tabs there, and you can read down underneath there for that. So this is one of your last tabs right here. It says review your application. So you're just going to make sure all this information is correct. I just put in random stuff on here. My name's not John Adams and all that. But you're just going to make sure all that is correct. And if anything's incorrect, you can just hit edit on there. And you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. There's some information and some other tabs that you can look at. And you can read some of those. But I'm just going to hit continue right at there at the bottom. So this next tab gives you some, reviews your application, some stuff like E-Trade customer agreement. I want to make sure that you read some of those. All of them, and make sure that you know everything about E-Trade and what they do, their commission fees and everything like that, and make sure that you know completely that this is a good program and a good brokerage firm that you want to invest with. So the last two tabs, it's create your ID and your funding tab. So creating your ID, that's going to come up with your basic login information and make sure that your account is secure and how you want to do that stuff. And the funding tab at the end is going to come up with how you're going to link your bank account to your checking account or your savings account. And I did a checking account to begin with, and I put in $301 for my funding. At the time, I thought that was a good investment, good amount of money to put in, but you decide for yourself. I would put about $300 plus. I wouldn't put like $25 or $100. I would put about $300 or plus, and it gives you a good amount to start learning with and have a long-term stock that you can buy in. My first stock was Microsoft, and I bought 4 of those, but I'll get into that in the next part where I go actually into the dashboard of ETRADE. So this right here is the ETRADE dashboard. On there you can see the different things, like at the top it has the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P for the day. It shows you like the daily gains and all that. So underneath there you can see everything, and you can click on all this information over here. But you can see there it has the net assets. I don't really like showing my account balance, but for this video I'm going to show it so you can see like where you'll see it at and where everything is placed at. You can see the day's gain underneath there. That's commission fees that I had. I bought 8 shares of Tesla today this morning. I didn't really do too good in trading that. But underneath there, you can see that you have the different news. So I have the market news, the whole market news under there. You have different things such as watch lists that you can pick. You can see Home Depot, Apple, Amazon, Snap. Those are all my watch lists, and I'll show you how to add those later. And here's my portfolio, which is Tesla, my 8 shares. Tesla, I don't know why it's not showing up, but. So the next thing we're going to do, here's a launch pad. So you can see OptionHouse, that's a trading software that I use. Once you've been trading for a while, you can sign up for OptionHouse, and it really, really helps you trading. I didn't know about it until a little while, and you can see Bloomberg Television. Under here, I set up alerts, so when something crosses a certain price point, then I'm alerted, and also it shows you when you do buy and sell a stock when those orders fill. You'll learn about that stuff later. And help finding stocks, you can set up scanners and screeners and all that. Transfer money, this is how you can transfer money eventually later on from different bank accounts that you can set up through there. So over here you can see that I clicked on the portfolios tab, and this shows you like my portfolio such as Tesla. As you can see, 8 shares of Tesla there. It shows you the last price, the change value for the day, and the change percentage on how much it trades, the price paid that I paid for it, and the day's gain, and total gain percentage amount. And then over there on the right hand corner, you can see where it says trade. I don't use that for trading, but I'll show you how I trade later. You can see performance and value. That's just nothing really. Just I don't really know how much what that does. But we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to watch list. So this is my watch list. This is how I set up watch lists, and you can also set those up through the OptionHouse trading. So right here, this is my ETFs with inverses. This is my watch list that I like to trade. I really like DGAZ, DRN. I did lose money on DRN. I'll show you that later, but DGAZ is really good, and some of these. I'll show you some stock suggestions later on. But then also you can do other watch lists. You can have multiple watch lists. So I'm going to go up here, and I do have my investments to watch, and this is a pretty long list of stuff. I don't really go too much on this tab, but it does have some of my favorite companies that I do like. HMNY, I really like that company. I believe in that company, but it's not doing really too hot today. Dropped 20% after market. You guys on there again, you can see Alibaba, Apple, Fitbit, DRN up at the top, USLV. A lot of those are some like inverse ETFs. It sounds really complicated, but later videos I'll describe what some of those are. And as you can see, the date added on there is changed since added, percentage wise, and some other stuff over there. Actions, volume. Volume's important for some of these stocks, but the ones I trade, it doesn't really matter too much. You can go to balances, or you can go some of these other things over here. Transfers, this is how you transfer over money. Going on right there. And also you can, different tabs up here. Okay, so right here you can see that I have the stock ETF. This is where you trade at. This is mostly where I trade at. I can type a symbol right up there, and I'm just for this one, I'm just going to put in DGAZ. This is a stock that I like to trade, and I just recently got out of trade, and I got $300 off of. You can hit the action, which is buy, sell, short sell, all that stuff, and quantity. I'm just going to type in a random quantity, but you can also hit this calculate quantity tab, and so we'll say if I want to trade with 2,000, how much? $2,400. We'll put that in there, and it calculates how many shares I can buy. So I'm just going to type in 75 there because that's how much I can buy. Market, we're going to buy it at the market price. And rotation, obviously I'm not going to buy the stock right now because the market is closed, as you can see there at 710. And then we're just going to preview on there. And obviously it says, yeah, I don't have purchasing power of that because I have all my money into, well, not all my money, but a lot of money into a Tesla right now. Waiting on a good reversal there. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're just going to do complete opposite. We're going to type in DGAS again, but instead of buying the stock, we're going to show you how to sell the stock. So you can just go to action and then you're going to type in sell underneath there. And then you're going to type in the quantity. So we said we bought 75 earlier, and so we're going to type in 75 there at the market value, and we can just hit preview on there. I'm not going to hit preview again, but that's just how you buy and sell the stocks right there. So right here, we're going to go in the mutual funds order. I don't do any mutual funds or anything like that. This is if you want to hold something long term. So you can just go into there. They have the different tabs, platforms, orders, bonds, options, all that different stuff. If you want to get into that, you can just look up some other videos on how to do that. Under here, they do have the research tab, and they have news, and you can just see, like I was showing you earlier, you have market news, you have watch list news, and here's a long list of stuff that's going on in the world. And if you just want to sit down here one day and just read it all, you can feel free to do that. And here's some other tabs over here. We're going to go to the U.S. markets. So you can see the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500. And I'll make another video on what those are and how you look at those and what you can tell off of them. You can see treasury yields under there, 30-year bonds, 10-year bonds, 3-year bonds. They're having something right now with the bond market that is causing the stock market to drop a little bit. Right here you can see the market movers. They have different tabs under here. You can see General Electric, Apple up 4%. That's pretty good for like a blue chip company like that. We can go to mutual funds and you can look up plan and invest right here. There's different planning tools. As you can see there is retirement, active trading, margin. Never trade on margin, by the way. I shouldn't say that, but it's basically you borrowing money thinking that you're going to make the money back. Never do that. Trading, you have different trading tabs, account. So this is the dashboard again, and underneath here I'm going to show you, so a setting alert. So I'm going to set an alert real quick on a stock that I currently trading, which is Tesla. So I'm going to type in that tab right there, TSLA. Let me do it again. There we click on here, and I want to set alert. So when the stock goes up 3%, we'll say I'm just type in 3.00, and we're just gonna hit. I'm just gonna move this over here, and you have different tabs: volume, PE ratio low, PE ratio high, daily down, and as you can see there, here's some other alerts that I set on there. And so what we're gonna do. I just say DRN. This is a stock that I was trading, but I'm not trading anymore. I hit a stop loss out, so I did lose money on that trade, about $90. I'll show you that later, but I just want to get rid of that alert, and so I just deleted it like that. Then I'm going to show you OptionHouse. This is the trading software that I use nowadays, and it's really, really helpful. Okay, so right here, it's going to show you a little bit about the software. It says customizable option chains, customizable watch lists. It's you can really do a lot with this software. A lot of, I guess, basically customizable stuff. Now we're gonna go on the next tab right here, position management. You can show you like your positions and what you have, and you can see where to trade. It has a really good, I guess, setup, and it also shows you live action. So what's going on, different news. You can also look on there, which is pretty cool. We're gonna go to the next tab right over here, feature ladder, so you can see different features and how they trade. I don't really do much with features. I just look at them for the next day's markets open, snapshot analysis. It shows you a little bit about each stock. So I'm just gonna hit OK. And so this is the software. This is what I use. This is Tesla. As you can see, it's up 1.71% from yesterday, and the exit hours, it's up 0.09, which that's after market trading, and I can get into that later. There's where I bought the stock at. I did buy the stock, and you can see it was trending up. It did have a big drop, and I didn't really buy in at the right time. I got greedy. I didn't wait for the morning sell-off, and I did lose about $100 before it started going up, and I'm only down like $7, I think, now. But I didn't really plan out the trade too well, and that's something I'm still trying to work on. As you can see there, you have frequency. You can go to 60-minute. I can go to 1 minute. I can make another video on how to use OptionHouse a lot better because there's so much that goes into it. So I'm going to go on 1 minute on the line chart, You also have different things such as candles. This Hiken Shocky, a Shocky one, shows you trend lines a lot better, and so you can really tell if something's trending up or trending down, that sort of stuff. You have different studies on there. I use the MACD indicator, really helpful. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, that's what it is. The moving average, and another moving average on there. And so you can have different events such as dividends, earnings, splits, trades history, that kind of stuff. That really helps sometimes, especially earnings reports when you can see those are coming up. So Tesla just had an earnings report, and their stock completely dropped down, and so it showed signs of reversal right after that, about 2 days later, and so that's when I'm buying in right now for it to go back up, because you can see a pattern that every time it did have an earnings report and it did drop down, it always recovered, and so I'm waiting on that recovery with a 10% potential for profit. So you can see here, there's the RSI that I look at, and also the MACD indicator. Those look really complicated, but they're really not. It's really simple. I can get another video into that. But you can do different things. You can look at the 6-month graph, 1-year graph. But there's my ETFs with inverses. Those are all the ones that I use, such as DSLV, JDST, DGAS. And you can move this around different places. I'm just going to put it in the same place, though. Up there you can see, yeah, I'm going to go to a different tab right here. Let me go investments to watch. So these are pretty good ones. This is my Google, Fitbit. These are kind of the ones that you saw earlier on there. Amazon, Apple. And you can do different things such as drawing. So I can measure. I have the measure tool where you can see in the kind of top left hand corner right there, you can see where it measures and how much it goes up by percentage wise. So you can see like your potential for profit. Here's like a little doodle tab, so you can just draw whatever you want to. Some people use it. I don't use it at all. Unless you want to draw smiley faces that it's a good stock or something, you can do that. And there's also like lots of different things. I'm just gonna undo here to get rid of my smiley face. Yeah, horizontal, so you can draw horizontal lines right here, and you can do that for support, resistance levels, so you can kind of see on a long-term graph where those levels are, and I get into support and resistance levels later on in a different video. But as you can see here, you have different things: channel, call out, measure. There's a line tab on here. Let me see, there it is, right there. And you can do this. You can saw like the trend lines, the low highs or the lows and the highs, and you can just draw graphs to basically show where I guess the stock's going. You can do whatever you want to. Those are all customizable. You can change the color too as well, which is pretty cool on there. But yeah, if you want to get rid of something, you can just hit the right click on it. I guess right-handed. But we'll go in here. Let me see the market tab. I can see live actions, watch list, market view, trading. Here's my account. Here's my account. Like total gain. This is year to date, so this is from January 1st to now, which is February 12th. And so you can see my total gain for that about a month and a half. It's been about $638.80. And you can see here's my trades that I have a stop loss on my trades that I do bad on, such as DRN and Tesla. I'm in right now, and HMNY and DGAS. Those are the ones that I ride out and I get my money off of. Here's another way to trade. I never trade this way. I really don't through OptionHouse. I like using my phone when I'm in math class or anything like that. I really can use that a lot better, I guess you could say. So trading, you can go to quote, chart, all that different thing. This takes you back to the regular tab how we were on. So I hope this video helped you learn how to set up a custodial ETRADE account. Remember, I'm not a professional at all, so I don't know the ins and outs of everything, but this is what I did to set up my account last August. And I know this is basically a skill. Investing is a skill that you can use lifelong, and you're always going to use this to make more money, save for retirement and all that. So it's good to use it now, especially when you're young and you're under 18. So I hope this video really helped you. Until next time, bye.